Good afternoon, everyone. And in case you don't know, it's Amazon Prime Day at Amazon.com, which means that they have a bunch of sales and they go on for about 36 hours. And it's not too relevant to gamers. There are definitely all kinds of game-related sales, but as gamers, we have to always look out for sales when buying our hardware and software, regardless of whether you're a PC gamer or a console gamer. So I thought everyone that's interested in stories and games would pick up Cyberpunk 2077 eventually. And this is probably the first time I've seen a sale on a pre-order for the standard edition of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the only ifs that are relevant, though, is if you live in the States and if you are a PS4 or Xbox One owner, and then this could work. Now, if you go to the link in the description and you click on that and you say add to cart, it won't tell you the price. And I think there's a reservation till the 17th of July for whatever reason. All kinds of things are happening there. I don't know too many people that are purely console gamers or would buy a game just on the console. But it's a good thing. This is a great thing. I don't think there are going to be any more sales throughout the year or next year before April. I usually, when a launch day for a AAA game is $59.99 anyway. So this is interesting. I've never seen this before, and if you do own, and you're in the States, a PS4 or Xbox One, great opportunity right there. Now, I just had a conversation on my Discord a few days ago about building your own PC and buying, and where to buy, where to get your shipping from, and all that stuff. And I can build my own PC. I do that a lot for friends and myself. My latest one is fairly old, but it still works. And I built it my own as well. But one on Amazon is called the Razer 15 or the Razer Blade 15. And it's a sale of $500 off, which is just amazing. Now, this is only for the base unit. There's two other bigger units, which are much more expensive. But if you don't know anything about building your own PC and you want a decent machine that's a laptop, so you can take it wherever you like, which is mine. I think laptops are great to have. Again, it's a lifestyle choice in that regard. But this is great. Now, why is this great? Well, it has a very decent GeForce GTX 1060. It has Intel i7, 6-core, 8750H. It has a 128 gigabyte SSD and 1 terabyte HDD, which that means is that you have a very quick boot for your operating system, and then you have 1 terabyte for storage, your games, whatever projects you're working on. That's what I have on my current one. 16 gigabyte dual channel, DDR4, not top of the line, but still pretty darn good. And that's about the main thing about it. Now, will you be able to run Cyberpunk on that box? You could. We don't know the exact specs. I was trying to find them. The only thing I found were the specs for the demos they had at E3 this year. And this is a pretty beefy machine. Really sweet CPU. Slightly better RAM. But this is what we're really looking at as the Titan RTX. This is what probably is more expensive than the rest of the machine. And if you just compare the two, this thing came out at the end of 2018. The RTX is special because that's the supposed chip or whatever design that NVIDIA is going to be using for ray tracing, which is going to apparently be supported for Cyberpunk 2077. So that sort of changes things. Now, will you be able to run Cyberpunk 2077 on your 1060 GTX if you were to buy this machine? Yes, I would argue, but definitely not to spec. Now, you might be saying, well, wait a second, this sounds, if you know your stuff, this sounds really good in comparison to a PS4 or Xbox One, obviously. But when you have games being released on those consoles, they're optimized for those consoles, and they're automatically old hard drive or old hardware. So you're not going to get the same performance. You probably will get at least 30 frames per second, but nowadays when we're comparing hardware and software specs and how well it does on gaming or on gaming machines or benchmarking like a certain game, the standard is 60 frames. So Yes, I would argue it can run, but with the new ray tracing possibilities and who knows how much the Titan or is going to be the benchmark of next year is going to be. So, yeah, you might want to hold off on buying your new machine if you plan on just getting a PC just for Cyberpunk. So, those were all the sales I could find. Now, there were all kinds of sales for games. I just can't really recommend them. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff I didn't go through. One I was looking for was the Nintendo Switch. There is a package deal for the Switch. You can choose from 8 games, I believe, and you save about $45. Nothing that I would be like, this would be a great idea. If you don't have a Switch already, it's not a big deal. The reason why I was recommending to look for a Switch or recommending a Switch is that Fire Emblem Three Houses is coming out this month, exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, darn. There's no sale. There's no sale on the hardware. There's no sale on the software. This would be my recommended purchase. So, unfortunately, there's nothing. So all I can recommend is the actual Cyberpunk and the Razer Blade 15. So there you are, guys. If you have any recommendations, you have less than a day to write them down in the comments and tell others. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.